Tariffs. Donald Trump calls them the most beautiful word. But for India, they might bring an ugly shock. With US-India bilateral trade reaching a record $129.2 billion in 2024, America's growing trade deficit of $45.6 billion has Washington on the edge. And now, Trump is taking action. His April 2nd tariff deadline could shake up India's $87.4 billion export market to the US. The question is, how will India respond? Days before the tariff deadline, a team of Indian trade negotiators rushes to New Delhi, hoping to strike a deal. The US president calls India's tariffs very unfair, averaging 12% compared to America's 2.2%. Now, some of India's biggest exports to the US, including pharmaceuticals worth $10.4 billion, diamonds worth $7.61 billion, and broadcasting equipment worth $6.18 billion, could face higher duties. Analysts predict a 3 to 3.5% drop in shipments, translating to billions in losses. But India isn't backing down. Ahead of the deadline, New Delhi slashed tariffs on $23 billion worth of US goods, from motorcycles to electronics. The move aims to boost American exports like crude petroleum worth $5.5 billion and coal briquettes worth $4.61 billion. But experts doubt whether this will be enough to deflect Trump's tariffs. After all, India's auto tariffs exceed 100%, and Trump is laser-focused on trade deficits. The impact will be felt across multiple industries. Here is how Trump's tariffs could hit Indian exports. Pharmaceuticals, tariff hikes on generic drugs could cut $1 to $2 billion in revenue, threatening jobs in Hyderabad and Gujarat. Gems and jewelry, with thin profit margins, a 5% tariff hike could wipe out smaller exporters in Surat. Chemicals and petrochemicals. India's $4 billion export sector may lose $500 million, while cheaper Chinese goods flood the market. Automobiles and parts, a 10 to 15% tariff on auto components could disrupt US automakers reliant on Indian parts. Textiles and apparel, increased duties may cost $300 to $500 million, hurting labor-intensive hubs like Tirupur and Ludhiana. The global impact of this trade war goes beyond just India and the US. A stronger US dollar, up 10% since September, is already making Indian exports more expensive. Meanwhile, markets are reacting. India's Nifty index is down 14%, with foreign investors pulling out $15 billion. And this isn't just about goods. India's $150 billion IT sector, which depends on the US for 70% of its revenue, could face indirect risks, especially if trade tensions spill over into visa policies. So, what's next for India? Experts say it has three options. Number one, make trade concessions, lower tariffs on US goods to ease tensions. Number two, diversify markets, finalize UK and EU free trade agreements. Number three, boost domestic production through Make in India and supply chain shifts. But time is running out. Trump's April 2nd deadline is just around the corner. Will India cave in to the pressure, or will it stand its ground in the straight showdown? One thing is clear. This isn't just a battle over tariffs. It's a battle for dominance in the global economy. Who will blink first?